All right, and we're live. I'm here with Luke Sandoe, and this is a new segment we're doing. We're going to try and do it weekly, but it might be a bi-weekly thing, depending on how interesting the news is in bodybuilding.
Well, have we got a name for this yet? I mean, surely, by now, surely the listeners will know because you've already done a poster and titled it.
I have not done a poster, and I didn't.
By the time this has been released, you will.
No, I'm going to release this right as soon as we're done. So it's Monday at 2:00 here, in Canada. So as soon as we're done, I'm going to release this thing, and we're going to come up with the name right now. So far, Luke's best idea is bullshitting bodybuilding. Yeah,
bullshit in bodybuilding. But don't put that on me because I said bullshit in bodybuilding and you changed it to and. So that's
all right. We're gonna let people decide in the comments section below,
or in the comment section below if you've got a better idea than ours.
Okay, so we either have bullshit in bodybuilding, or bullshit and bodybuilding, or if you have a better title. Or if you have a better title, put it in the comment section below, and maybe we'll do it next time.
That's a good idea.
Anyway, so what we're basically going to do is talk about like the previous week or the previous week's trending topics in bodybuilding that are like just nonsense that people are talking about, and we're going to give our opinion as pros, because a lot of the opinions out there are kind of like people that don't necessarily compete or kind of just a fan's opinion, and we want to give you guys kind of like our view of our peers, kind of what they're doing.
The inside scoop.
Yeah, I guess the inside scoop. So the first topic I want to talk about, and this one kind of it riled me up a lot, was, and I know this is a little bit older now, but I don't think anybody really touched on how bad Sean Ray shit on Sean Roden for his guest posing. And then Sean Roden comes back 2 months later and guest posed and looked like he was right on track.
The only problem I have with that is there's those famous pictures of Sean Ray guest posing looking like a chocolate fucking donut.
Yeah.
So, do you remember? I mean, and I would actually say that Sean might even be Sean Ray might even be fatter than Roden.
Oh yeah, yeah. In that the one guest posing photo I saw, Sean Ray looked like he'd never worked out a day in his life.
Yeah.
Sean's gonna bring the excuse that, well, I wasn't Mr. Olympia, so it doesn't matter. But he took a piece out of Sean Roden so badly on Dave's show that I feel like a public apology is necessary.
That fucking bad?
Man, you know what? I listened to that. You know what? And I'll go even further. And I don't care who fucking gets pissed off. Bob Ciccarello shit all over him also. And they gave it to him like hard. And I'm like, it's not that they were wrong. It's the way they went about it.
Yeah.
It's the way they went about just totally bashing him. And they're going to be the first ones congratulating him if he wins again.
I mean, yeah, that is true, but that is two separate kind of topics in itself, isn't it?
Why is it two separate topics?
Because you're having a go at him for looking shit when he did, and then you're congratulating him when he wins, which you should, so it's like...
No, but what I'm trying to say is those two guys are usually some of the first guys that are in line to be next to the winner.
Yeah, that's true.
So like,
what was your opinion on it? Because my opinion was, I get why people are a bit pissed off, but I don't care because I know that Sean, all that matters is what's going to happen.
I share the same
opinion.
He's done
that every year.
Yeah, I share the same opinion as Branch Warren, which me and Branch spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
And Branch just said, look, I wouldn't have done it if I was in that kind of shape, or I would have put a suit on and handed out a trophy or something like that. He goes, I just don't think it's a good idea to guest pose, whether you're Mr. Olympia or not, if you're not in shape.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that, and that's quite a polite way of putting it. There's no offense. That's I can't argue with that at all.
Yeah, but I think my point is he said it in a respectful way, and he didn't He didn't just tear into him for the sake of fucking tearing into him. And I feel like with Sean Ray and Bob Ciccarello being ex-bodybuilders, look, I expect that kind of shit from somebody who doesn't compete.
Yeah.
Because they don't really know better, right? But I think when you get someone like Sean Ray and Bob Ciccarello who have a history of competing and who've probably stepped on a stage somewhere out of shape, they should be the ones that kind of say it the way Branch did. Look, it's probably not a good idea, but you know, this is what it is, and move on. Don't just fucking tear into them and like, you know, just feed the fire, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but we all know that Bob loves a bit of controversy, doesn't he? He likes stirring the pot.
Yeah, but Bob's the worst one. He's the athlete's rep.
Yeah,
If anything,
he did it to me last 2 weeks ago, didn't he?
What did he say?
I don't really want to get into it because I've talked about this to the fucking death.
Well, we're getting into it now. What did he say?
No, not about that. It was at the press conference for the British Grand Prix. He was winding up Nathan about me, mouthing me off, but it was I understand why. It's good. It's supposedly good fun, but at the same time, it's not necessary.
I think they want to make bodybuilding like the WWE.
I mean, it should be more entertaining, but it doesn't mean we all have to hate each other. You know, it can be entertaining.
I don't think bodybuilding is pro wrestling. It's just not.
No.
It's not. We're different. We're different people. Emotions run high, and personally, you know, I've heard Nathan's like stories here and there when he shits on certain people. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea.
No.
Like no. I don't want to play that game with anybody because people say, "Oh, well, you're too sensitive, or you're too insecure, or whatever." I don't give a fuck. When I'm dieting, my emotions are sky high, and
that's true. I mean, I'm in the whirlwind of it right now, and I'm sick of it. And it's like I haven't said anything.
Yeah.
And people keep bringing it up in my comment section. That just keep trying to keep it going. And it's like, just fuck off.
People want to feed the drama, man. So I want to touch on that for a minute, but I want to go back to the Roden thing for 1 second. Yeah. What do you think about him? Because nobody's made a peep after that second guest posing. Like, I didn't hear Sean Ray come back out.
No. And also he posted that side chest picture recently.
Yeah.
Which Sean did come out and say, yes, that is recent, where he looked ridiculous.
Yeah, but why didn't Sean Ray come on and apologize for being a dick?
Because Sean Ray knew what he was talking about. I think he knew what he was saying. I think he fully expected Sean to do exactly what he's done.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I just feel like all of us that know Sean, and I know Sean Ray does too, and I know Bob Ciccarello does, all of us know that Sean Roden was going to do that.
Yeah.
We know he doesn't, he looks like he doesn't even work out in the off season some months.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
And
then, but you know what? When he gets to the Olympian, he just looks fucking crazy.
I know.
That transformation is going to blow minds.
Yeah.
You know, so I actually think it might pay off, you know, in the long game. He might be playing it very clever, actually.
Yeah. No,
and then next year they'll be like, get fatter and smaller. And I get really excited. And he comes in looking like Starving Marvin next year. But fat. And then does the transformation again because everyone knows he can pull it back.
Yeah.
So it might work out. I mean, I can't wait to see how just retarded he looks at the Olympia. Because he's going to be the one now. Everyone is waiting to see more than anyone else.
Yeah, but I think after that second guest posing, people are like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, but people when it gets to the Olympia, people aren't going to remember the second guest posing. They're only going to talk about the first one.
Yeah, no, I know. But what I'm saying is the people that watch bodybuilding closely, are kind of like, oh, okay, if he did that in 2 months, then he's probably going to be ready.
Also as well, because Sean's a clever guy. Do you think he did it on purpose? Because he knew at the Olympia he'll be nails. So everyone's more hyped to see what the reigning Mr. Olympia is going to look like, especially after that guest spot.
I don't think anybody wants that kind of shitstorm on
purpose. Because it's going to pay off well for him. Because what I mean is, more people are going to want to see what he looks like than they would have anyway. He's drumming up hype going into that because everyone's talking about what's Sean Ray. Everyone knows everyone else is going to look.
Yeah.
But Sean Roden, we've only seen that, and that's in the front of everyone's mind. So when it comes to the Olympia, everyone wants to know, well, has he actually pulled it off?
I don't think. he's that calculated. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think he's.
I want to think he is, because otherwise that would be genius.
That's like some evil genius shit. It's like, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna look like total ass, and then I'm gonna, yeah, no. So, no. I think it was probably, it's just his way. He doesn't go crazy in off season. So
yeah, and I also think he doesn't care either. Like,
he doesn't. He doesn't care. So, okay, on to more important things. So what's going on with you and Nathan? What are you going to do about it? Nothing? You don't plan to say anything?
I've said enough.
What did you say?
Well, I went on the Muscular Development podcast and said my piece, and I made him look like a twig on stage when he won the British Grand Prix.
I saw that photo. It didn't.
And I'm in shape. I'm in shape. So I'm not obviously that in shape. And he didn't like it. He got upset, didn't he? He started crying a little bit. Didn't like it. The thing about Nathan, which I find very unusual, is he only ever has a go at people that are better than him. So
that he's better than, you mean?
No. He only he never, he's friendly until you're better than him. And as soon as you're either as good or a threat or better, he just dislikes you straight away.
So what are you trying to say? He hasn't taken a go at me, so he probably is not worried about me. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's racist. Who knows?
He knows I'm old as fuck.
He just keep tearing everything. But in actual real life, Nathan and I are fine. It's just all a bit of fun. But I think we're both just getting annoyed by everyone else stirring the pot, and him and I are just trying to get ready for shows.
Okay, but wait a minute. I want to ask you, because this is real. So
yeah.
Is this something that, when you step on stage at the Olympia, is this something that will be in the back of your mind? Kind of like, I want to beat him. Like, he's one of the guys I want to take out.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. That's all I'm wondering.
Yeah. I'm not one of these, like, I'm just trying to beat my best. Fuck that. I'm trying to beat him and everyone else, but especially him. So
especially him.
So of course, he thinks he's the best in England. He keeps going on about it, and he is until I show otherwise.
Yeah, I guess record wise, yeah.
100%. I've never said that. All I've ever actually said is I believe I can beat him.
But is he better? But wait a minute. Is he better record wise? Because
of course he is. He's won like 5 pro shows, and he won his pro card
in his
first attempt.
Okay, but wait a minute. How's he done at the Arnold's? Has he ever done the Arnold's?
No, he's never beaten the guys I've beaten ever.
Well, that says something.
I know. He knows.
You can win. Listen, you can win 5 Orlando pros, and it's not going to equal second or third place at the.
Not in his eyes, and also in his eyes, it was a shit Arnold, and in his eyes, the dog ate his homework. I don't know, but. I mean, the thing is, if he didn't think I could beat him, he wouldn't give a fuck, and he does. So
yeah.
I'm in his head. I'm in his brain.
Right,
what's next on the agenda? We're beating a dead horse there. What's next? Let's go.
I want to ask you about Larry Wheels, man, because I watch Larry Wheels videos. I watch his videos all the time, and the guy is like just fucking insane watching his lifts.
Yeah. I mean, some of the things he puts up. I mean, I'm pretty strong. Yeah. Until I watch his videos, and I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Because he is not the kind of guy that has the size to create that kind of leverage,
Yep.
When you see like someone like Hatfield Johnson doing something huge, or Brian Shaw, or even Eddie Hall at his biggest, you're never like, because when Eddie Hall deadlifted 500 kilos, he made it look very small.
Yeah.
But when Larry Wheels does things, everything looks like it does on everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, when he has 9 plates aside, it looks like a lot.
Yeah.
He doesn't look capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not, and he does everything so comfortably.
Okay, so, but in saying that, because there's been like a rash of tears in the last like 6 months. So Larry Wheels tears his bicep, and it's kind of one of those things where I thought this would happen a long time ago, watching him lift some of the lifts like he does.
Yep.
But what does this mean? Like, why is everybody? I've gotten a lot of these questions. Why is everybody tearing so many muscles?
Well, who?
Well, it was like I tore my tricep. Antoine tore his bicep.
Yeah, but I think didn't Antoine do his outside of the gym, moving something like heavy?
Gym? He was moving around like a piece of because they're renovating the gym.
Yeah, so that's quite a common injury. And your elbow is probably from years and years of training.
Yeah. And then it just seems like it's all at once. Like Larry Wheels tears his bicep.
Yeah, but then, and again, I'm just looking at the reasons that Larry was doing. He almost dropped a ball, didn't he? The Atlas stone.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So that's again, if that happens a lot with that lift.
Does it really? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I train with a World's Strongest Man competitor, Terry Hollins, every now and then, and he's got torn biceps from doing Atlas stones.
Yeah. See, when people ask me, I say, I think it's partially due to Instagram. I mean, you're seeing people lift all these crazy lifts, and maybe all the guys are trying to compete in a way.
I mean, the guys who do all this stuff aren't the guys who do the crazy lifts. Like, you're not a crazy lift guy. Antoine's not a crazy lift guy.
No. Yeah.
Yours and Larry's was a freak accident doing a lift that typically tears biceps.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone tear anything on Instagram yet.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to put that video up.
I think they would. If you had a video, actually, Ken Jackson did, didn't he, when he was doing the tricep?
He did. That's right. That's another one. But that's another one. Ken tore his fucking tricep. It's like, there's more. I know there's more. I just can't think of them. But there's a whole bunch of people all of a sudden that just.
I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems like.
When you tore your tricep, did you have pain in there before? Was it like a niggly elbow you've had for a while? Is it like a? It wasn't just out of the blue.
No, I've had soreness in that elbow. I actually had a minor tear in that tendon like 10 years ago.
Okay, well, that's right. Okay.
And I've had a lot of pain in that tendon since, and then it's gotten really bad lately, and then it just went.
Is that video of you crying still on your channel? Everyone can watch. Right, if anyone hasn't watched it, was it PRP or PIP injections?
It was a PRP injection, and that fucking doctor. So this is what the doctor says to me. He goes, "I don't believe in freezing the area with PRP." So I'm like, okay, whatever. This is my first time I did it, so I'm like, okay, whatever you think. And he was like a renowned doctor around here.
Yeah.
And he fucking pulls out a needle like this. It's like this fucking big. And he's like, okay, put your elbow in this position. I'm like this. So it's like the tendon is stretched out.
Yeah.
And he proceeds to jab me right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably 7 or 8 times. And the first time he puts the needle in, I'm like, oh, fuck. And he goes, no swearing. And I'm like, are you serious right now? I'm like, you're fucking jabbing my tendon. It's like a needle. So yeah, that I couldn't help it. It brought fucking tears to my face. So whatever, man. I don't.
Yeah. So everyone go and watch the video of Fouad crying his eyes out, because it's worth it just for that. But yeah, you are right. There has been a lot of tears, but I think they're all explainable. I don't think there's anything in the water making everyone tear shit.
It just seems strange all at once. And I think, Rami hurt his shoulder at one point, and I think
but did he? I get injuries all the time. Like, I always tweak something. Like, my left shoulder's fucked and my left knee's fucked, and then my right knees, my right quad, my right VML, my right leg's all sore.
So when you have a minor tweak or a minor strain like that, I still see you lifting fucking heavy. You don't really like.
But it's not all the time. Like today was legs, and I had to just a ton of volume because I can't do anything heavy. I think I got to 4 plates on the safety bar. I did 3 for like 2 or 3 sets of 10. It was easy, and I was like, my knee doesn't feel terrible. And then I put 4 plates on and did like 15, and I could have done like 30, but it was just I had to rack it because it was just killing my knee.
Okay.
It's just, and I've never had it like the patella tendon right under the kneecap. I've never had it there, and it's just I hacked like 9 plates aside a couple of weeks ago, and it's just ever since it's just been really sore.
Yeah.
But I've ordered one of those TheraGuns. Have you got one of those?
Yeah, I got one. I got one by Tim Tam. You know what I found really good? It really works well for that, because I have Osgood-Schlatter disease. I don't know if you know what that is, but
you do.
Yeah, it's like the calcium buildup at the top of the tibia.
Yep.
So my patella attaches like from my kneecap down, and it gets really sore sometimes. So if you take a Graston's tool, just put some Vaseline on it, and then like just scrape it with. You can do it yourself. Just scrape it yourself with like a Graston's tool. Like you get tons of relief out of it.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. One.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the Chicago Pro.
Yes, I want to pull some pictures up here because based on the pictures, I'm not quite sure I agree with the win.
Really? Oh, we might have a debate here.
Yeah, really.
Why? Who do you think?
Lucas Osladil.
You thought Lucas won?
Yeah.
No.
Who has the best combination of size, condition, and symmetry?
Probably.
Who has the best of all of them?
I thought Asa looked really good, if anything.
Yeah, but maybe let me have to see the pictures.
I thought Asa looked better than Lucas, if you're talking about just like somebody with more size.
Yeah, but Lucas then was in shape, and he was the most complete.
I don't agree. I think Asa was just as in shape, and he's also very, very complete.
Let me see this.
I'm going to bring up some photos too. Why do you think Lucas is better than Asa?
I'm going to have to see pictures of Asa because...
Right. Well, you're not very prepared for this podcast.
Well, because I thought we were going to talk about the top three, and now you're just throwing someone else on me. Now I don't know what's going on. Right. Where did he place?
Asa placed third.
No, he didn't. I thought Lucas did.
Oh, Asa placed fourth?
No, I'm probably completely wrong here. I definitely was looking at all these pictures earlier.
It just slips your mind, eh? That's what happens to me when I'm like, you start doing these things.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I could agree. But let's just talk about Michael Lockett versus Charles Griffin firstly, because, Charles, I don't know. I just don't agree with it.
Okay, I'm looking at a picture of the top six. Okay. And Asa, if you don't like Griffin or Lockett, I think Asa beats Lucas.
Okay.
I don't like Lucas's midsection. I don't really like the way he poses. Asa is bigger.
I don't like anything about Lucas's physique really, apart from his condition. I don't know why it just looks a bit strange. But he did look good.
I thought he looked good, but I definitely don't have him winning. I think he placed. I don't know if he placed third or fourth, but I have him I look at this photo. I have him in fourth.
Okay.
I have Lockett. To me, is the best combination of everything, because if I look at Griffin, I feel like Griffin's legs are lagging.
I do as well, but remember the Michael Lockett does have the smaller legs, doesn't he, as well?
Yeah, but if you look at his physique right now, so I'm looking at a front double bicep shot, and I'll try and put it up in the video, like in editing, but I'm looking at a front double bicep shot, and even though Michael Lockett's legs aren't big, they're very proportionate to his body, whereas if you look at Charles Griffin, he's got a very thick upper body, and his waist is not the smallest, and then his legs are too small, I think, for his waist.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because if you look at this photo, like there's a photo of the top six, it's on NPC News Online.
Okay.
And they're all doing a front double bicep. And the glaring thing you could see right away is Michael Lockett's got this tiny little waist. So even though his legs aren't overly massive, they fit very proportionately with his physique.
That is completely true. I actually think Michael Lockett is one of the most freaky things I've ever seen in person.
Oh, no, I know. I beat Michael Lockett at the 2015. That was my first pro show I won at the 2015 Orlando. And nice. I remember thinking to myself, I don't know how I beat that guy. Because I remember seeing him on stage and I'm like, what the fuck are people talking about? This guy looks like a freak. And then I beat him again at the 2017 Arnold, and that was my worst look. And I again remember thinking, how the fuck did I beat Michael Lockett?
Yeah.
And but in this lineup, I feel like he's the most proportionate physique with the best conditioning. He's just not he's not the biggest. That's all.
I think I can agree with you looking at the pictures.
And then we have.
The only thing is, the only thing I have in Charles's defense there is Charles destroys him from the back. Look at the actual muscle there.
Yeah.
And the detail, but Lockett's glutes are just insane.
I agree with the back. Assessment, but I just think Charles Griffin's physique is totally thrown off by his legs, because it's just a part of the illusion. Like if his waist was a little smaller, like I have this problem. If his waist was a little smaller, his legs would probably look like they fit.
Yeah, that's true.
But because his waist is a little bit thicker, it's not distended. It's just got like a little bit thicker obliques.
Yeah.
His legs need to be even larger to offset that.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can agree.
And then if you look at Asa, I feel like Asa, I don't know what his conditioning looked like in person, but out of this lineup, to me, he's also as proportionate as Lockett, but I just don't know if his conditioning was as good in person.
Yeah, I think that's where Lockett kind of gets everyone because his condition is insane.
Yeah, I know.
Apparently, he diets on like bacon and Sunny Delight or something like that.
I talked to him I forget what show we were doing. I talked to him. He's like, yeah, I had a fucking pizza last week. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I just decided to do the show like 3 weeks ago. He's just in the
Do you remember when I remember when he posted he had his gyno surgery and was like 3 months later, he was like, oh, I haven't been in the gym for 3 months. Here's a selfie. Looking fucking ridiculous. Like he'd been training all he hadn't ever stopped. And
yeah.
then, I mean, and he's really strong as well. Have you seen some of his like bench press videos?
Oh no, I know. I watched.
He just casually puts out 5 plates like it's nothing.
Yeah, no, he's a fucking freak. He's a freak.
Animal. He's a really nice guy as well. He is really nice. He's every time I see him at Expo, he always comes and says hello.
He strikes me as the kind of person you don't want to fuck with, though.
Yeah, that's cool though, Matt. Just like me. A ragamuffin from the streets.
I just don't know. I don't know him. I don't know.
I remember once when I think it was a misunderstanding. I'm sure it was. I think it came out afterwards that it was like somebody had not said something about like a beef that wasn't really there between Sergio Oliva and.
Oh, I remember that.
Sergio just said something really flippant, and then Michael Lockie commented something like, "Dude, I will beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Trust me. I am not a talker. I will beat the fuck out of you if you talk about me like that."
I remember
and I was like, "You're the fucking coolest guy." And that's amazing because I definitely think you would.
That's the thing is like a lot of people will say that, but I actually believe Lockett like has a gun and he'll probably use it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he needs to because when he got called when he was waiting for the decision, he was like shadow boxing on stage.
I saw that.
Hell, what is this? I mean, he's a cool guy. You can't.
Yeah. You know what I was really impressed with in this show?
Who?
Well, we'll move on to something else, but there's the guy from fucking England.
Samson. Yeah.
He's got I watched so when I first watched the video of the first call out, I saw the lineup come out and I was like, who's the fucking guy on the left?
Yeah.
I was like, it looked like I don't know if you know Quentin Eastwood.
Yes.
So Quentin's from Canada. He's got crazy physique, crazy genetics. He's only like 23 years old.
I'm a freak.
Yeah. But this guy has the same shape, but he was like way bigger. And I'm like, did Quentin put on like 10 pounds of fucking muscle? Like,
so it's very good. He has a ton of potential too. So
he's I'm imagining it was a conditioning issue because
he is missing quite a lot of body parts because he hasn't been training that long. He's only been training like 5 or 6 years.
Like what? What's he missing?
Arms, back.
Yeah, nobody cares about arms.
You're saying that because you don't have any.
Hey, okay, wait a minute. Fuck you. I have arms until I tore my tricep. Now,
exactly. Now you've got one.
I have I have a forearm that goes like all the way up to my fucking shoulder now.
Yeah. Well, you need no. I think arms. Arms are a huge thing.
Arms don't win shows.
Tell Justin Compton that.
Tell Dorian Yates that.
Yeah, but that's Dorian fucking Yates, mate.
Yeah, Dorian Yates' arms were fucking mediocre.
Yeah. You're right. You can be over there with your no arms, and I'll disagreeing with you.
Just tell. Look it. You can throw insults if you want to throw insults, but the fact of the matter is, Dorian Yates won what 5 Olympias with no arms.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. But I think someone like Samson, where he has that classic look, if he had those, you know how like for some reason people in the 80s just had insane, like when they did the front double, their arms just looked ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
If Samson with that shape, if he had some more thickness in his arms and he brought them up to look kind of more in line with that look, he'd just look 10 times better.
No, I agree with you. I'm just fucking around. I actually think like Reagan, that reminds me of Reagan a lot too. Reagan's got a really good physique, but if his arms had a little bit more shape to him, his front double would be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like Derek Lunsford is a little bit like that as well.
Yeah, they got,
But his front double is incredible, but normally people's front doubles are incredible because of their arms.
Yeah.
Lunsford's incredible because of everything else.
Yeah, I agree with that. So there's one more thing I want to touch on that has got me a little riled up. Right. Why can't people leave fucking Ronnie Coleman alone?
What's happened?
You know, Ronnie's been
the leg press thing.
Yeah, Ronnie's been posting workout videos.
Oh, it's Ronnie going. It's like the guy's. He's happy. Just leave him the fuck alone.
That's what I'm saying. What
It's
the
like
fuck
it's
is
his life? It's his fucking fucked up body. He's the one that also has to pay for it. And
that's
he's
what
still there smiling. Just leave him the fuck alone.
that's what I don't get. It's not like it's like public money that's going to his fucking surgeries. You guys have like America has fucking private healthcare. Like he's paying for his own fucking surgeries.
Exactly, and he's happy. That's it. That's all that matters.
People just can't fucking leave the guy alone.
I think they keep forgetting it's Ronnie fucking Coleman.
I just don't know.
Coleman. You're never going to get him out of the gym. It's Ronnie Coleman, the greatest bodybuilder ever and will ever live. And you're telling him to get out of the gym.
I just don't know why. Look, it's like you can't fucking win. If you're Dorian Yates, people are like, oh, look at fucking Dorian Yates. He lost like 100 pounds and he's a yoga instructor now. And if you're Ronnie Coleman, they're like, look at this fucking guy. He can't stay out of the gym. Fucking, why can't they just?
Yeah, the only one that never gets anything negative said about him is Jay.
Yeah, right. Jay fucking goes through unscathed.
Yeah, but yeah, Jay's a magician though. I don't know how he does it. He never does anything wrong.
It's true. He doesn't actually. Nobody. He trained because you know why though? Because he's never really had anything bad happen to him. Everything is kind of worked out for him. He hasn't. He retired from bodybuilding with no real injuries. He hasn't had any like health scares. He's made a ton of money, and he's still in the gym, kind of working out casually and shooting YouTube videos.
Great. He looks fucking great,
and he looks great. So people are like, "Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the blueprint."
But Dorian still looks good. He's got a massive back tattoo now.
Hey man, when I see Dorian's life, I'm jealous. I'm like, this guy got out of bodybuilding, and he's happy as fuck doing some other thing.
He just lives in Spain getting baked out of his mind doing yoga and stretching all day.
It's great.
Fair play to the man. Fair play.
But I just don't. But I don't understand. People can't. I feel like you really, really can't, unless you're Jay Cutler. Let's aside from Jay, but nobody gives like. Guy won 8 fucking Olympias. You know, it's Ronnie Coleman. Like he would.
Yeah.
Why can't you just be a fan and remain a fan regardless of what he does? Why do you have to like?
This is just the way of the world now. This is how social media works. You can say whatever the fuck you want to whoever the fuck you want with zero repercussions. No, there's no like, you can literally say whatever you want to anyone. And the people that feel shit about themselves like to just make digs at everyone else just to try and put their own status up. And this is what the world we live in nowadays because of social media. Back in like the early 2000s, you'd have to go up to somebody and tell them to their face and you'd get a fucking slap.
Yeah.
Things that people say these days. But because everyone in the world pretty much has a voice, they all think they're entitled to use it. And they all want to push their social status higher by putting someone else down. And that's just the way of the world.
It's a sad fucking thing, man. It's a sad thing as a bodybuilder to think that this guy won 8 Mr. Olympias.
Yeah.
And nobody will cut him a fucking break.
No,
they all rode his fucking nuts when he was winning.
Yeah.
But then they just can't cut the guy a break now.
Yeah. I mean, but I think a lot of the people saying that, I mean, surely there are people that don't really matter. It's Ronnie,
For sure, by any stretch. It's not the point of whether it matters or not. It's just the point of whether.
No, I mean, it's like because those that understand are all like great. And those that don't understand what it is up here and what like every pro has, every bodybuilder has something in your head that makes you a little bit fucked up. And Ronnie Coleman, as we keep using him as his own like pedestal. He's Ronnie Coleman. You can't take that out of him. And we all understand that. So we're like, great, fair play, Ronnie. You're still going. You're still able to do what makes you happy. And the rest of the world don't see it that way.
But that's exactly my point. Is it's regardless of whether it's Ronnie Coleman. Why are fucking people so? Who fucking cares who it is? The guy had surgery, and all of a sudden now he can work out.
Yeah,
just leave him alone.
Yeah.
Oh, but what if he hurts himself again? That's his fucking prerogative.
Well, then he'll just buy a spine. He's been fucking getting, because by the time he's finished with it, it's going to be brand new because he's been buying a new vertebrae every couple of years.
Yeah.
And then he's going to make a comeback with this new spine. That's what he's waiting for. He's waiting to collect the whole set.
Okay, so listen, let's get out of bodybuilding for a minute. How many girls have messaged you since our podcast when we talked about your marriage?
Not many. A few. Maybe like 4.
I think you're lying because I have a whole bunch of new female followers.
Oh, do you? Because I fucking don't.
Well, I think it's,
unless I just don't notice. How's this happen?
I think it's because
I'll tell you why, because none of them do it at the bum, and so I don't want you anyway. and nobody wants to be a wife anymore.
no, I don't think that's true. I think
my wife would be sick. I tell you.
Wait, say that again.
Being my wife would be sick.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would be great. It'd be fucking brilliant. You get to live with my dog. He'd be your best mate.
Yeah, but you'd have to give it up in the bum all the time.
Yeah, but they like it, mate. So.
No, they don't.
I don't know. I just listen. I don't want to get into this case. Like,
look, this is why I got more female followers, and you didn't since our podcast.
I don't need those. Those girls can. I don't want them.
I came off as the more mature, responsible adult, and you came off as somebody just looking for anal.
I've already made it explicitly clear. A wife that does anal. That's a difference. No, but like, but no. Oddly enough, I don't think the whole marriage couple being together thing. I don't think anyone wants that anymore. It's very old-fashioned. You know?
I think people are doing it later. I don't think nobody wants it.
I mean, I'm gonna end up doing it later because I'm 31 in about 3 weeks. I'm getting on a bit. So
yeah. No, I think people still do. I think it's just not the first. I think people want to like explore a little first, and then get married.
Yeah, I've done all that board.
So nothing new has come up since our podcast.
No.
Well, it's too bad, man. I thought we would make you. Well, stop asking for fucking anal, and then maybe some girls will message you.
Tinder hasn't even worked out either. Like, I mean, I don't use it really, and I'm still getting nothing.
Well, dude, you're on Tinder. You have a picture of your kid and your dog.
Yeah, because it's and do you think I should take must do anal out of my bio? Well, I just wanted to be honest. I wanted to hit them up. Well, I wanted to hit them up front with a dog, a child, and the bum thing.
You better hope no girls watch this. This is not helping. This is not helping your fucking case, man.
It's not just a joke, ladies. I like both holes. Does that make it worse or better? Does that make it? What is that? That makes it better, right? Okay, good. Let's move on from that subject to something else that doesn't involve my penis.
All right. I don't know what other hot topics we got. I was just.
Does that mean my love life is a hot topic?
No, I kind of covered the things I wanted to cover. We have the Vancouver Pro coming up this week. Who do you think's gonna go on and win that show? Who do you think's gonna do that show?
Ian.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ian's doing that show.
Yeah. I mean, unless Lucas Osladil does it, then he'll probably win it.
Again. You think Lucas Osladil can beat Ian?
He did last year at Vancouver.
Lucas beat Ian last year?
I think so. Because Lucas has won the Vancouver Pro. And I think he might beat him. Yeah, he beat him last year. I think he beat him. Or was it, did he beat? He won it last year. And I'm sure.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, so you saw Ian in Toronto. Do you think Ian is better than last year?
I think Ian was a little bit flat at Toronto, especially in his legs, because he's normally known for having very big legs, and they looked a little bit flat. But he was crazy peeled. But I think he needs to have that fullness that he had kind of last year when he won the Pro Show back again.
Yeah, I didn't listen. I like Ian. He's a really good person. He's guest posed for me at a couple of my shows, but I did not. So I hope he doesn't take any offense to this. But it might have been because he was flat. But I didn't see a dramatic change from his first pro win to the Toronto show. Because I was expecting.
I think it was just the foot. Well, last year when he won the big man show, he was blasting full.
Yeah, he was.
It does help because Ian, as incredible as he is, his like having a nice structure isn't one of his strengths.
Yeah.
So he needs to have that fullness because he has the conditioning, he has the separation, dryness, and all. He's very balanced, but that fullness is what he needs that because he needs to make up in areas that he doesn't have.
Yeah, I know. I agree. But I was just expecting because he kind of hid away for like a year on Instagram. I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
So I was expecting him to make this other leap.
Yeah.
To like a whole new physique, and I'm hoping it's just the flat because I'm kind of rooting for him. You know what I mean? Like
he's one of my favorite bodybuilders actually.
He's a good person, so I'm kind of hoping that like it was a fullness issue, and he does take Vancouver.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Can he stand next to you at the Olympia?
Anyone can stand next to me.
It's a very diplomatic answer.
No, because I like Ian. So, and I don't want to I don't want any more beef with anyone.
No, that's the tricky part about doing these shows is if you have to compete against the person, they remember like.
No, it's not. But the thing is, I like Ian. I mean, Nathan's a prick, so I don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm going to smash him to bits. But like Ian is cool, and also Ian and I are much more similar in structure. So I would say we're pretty much the same. I just have a nicer structure, and I'm maybe a bit bigger.
Well, being the objective one, not as being one of you two, I would say you don't have a nicer structure, but you are bigger.
Okay.
So I think when I look at you both, I think he's got the conditioning on you.
Yeah.
He just gets really grainy.
Yeah. But I think that's a genetic thing. Do you think?
I do think it's a genetic thing because he fucking looks like that like 10 weeks out.
Flex Lewis gets absolutely inside out shredded, and he is not grainy in the slightest. But it looks.
So you mean the actual grainy aspect? I thought you just meant conditioning.
Like James Holling said, even when he's 300 pounds, he looks grainy.
No, I think it's a training thing.
No, I don't think it is.
But think about it. Look at. Wait a minute. Look at Dorian. Look at Branch. Look at. I mean, they're kind of.
So why don't I have it?
You don't really train like that.
But I train exactly like Dorian.
Do you go to go to all out failure?
All out failure, yeah. It just doesn't look like it because that's what my failure looks like.
Maybe you're just not conditioned enough to be grainy.
Well, the only thing I haven't noticed. Well, actually, Chris used the word grainy a couple of days ago. He said you're looking very grainy.
It could be a muscle maturity thing.
Yeah, because I'm noticing detail in places I've never had it, and like a lot of veins in places that I never get them. Yeah, when your legs get paper thin and they're always just covered in those little veins everywhere. Yeah. Like that constantly at the moment, and that's new for me.
Yeah, that happened to me as I got older too. So it could be a maturity thing.
I think it is a maturity thing with me because at the Arnold I was dry as a fucking nun.
But I guess maturity is genetic as well. So if you look at Ian, genetically maybe is.
I also think Ian and I think we're the same age, and I think he's been training a good 5 years longer than me in terms of.
You're not the same age.
How old's Ian?
Isn't he like 28, 27?
I thought he was 30, and I thought he was 30. I'm sure he was 30. I'm sure his birthday fairly recently.
Oh, I keep thinking of him in his 20s.
Okay, maybe he is. I thought they're roughly the same age, but he has been training longer than I have. But I don't know whether that's a factor or just it's a genetic thing. You know what it is? Graininess. People that are grainy are always very pale. Have you noticed that as well?
That's not true. I get fucking grainy.
Not in the same way that like Branch.
Yes, I do.
Right, all the guys you just mentioned, Dorian, Branch, let's say it with James and Ian, traditionally grainy people are always really fucking pale.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
No, it doesn't, does it? I'm just trying to think. I'm really pale.
Ronnie used to get grainy. He's fucking black.
Ronnie's I think, but Ronnie was like a different type of grainy. His was like, it is different.
No, explain.
I think it's when the skin is really, really pale. It looks thinner because you almost like see through.
I don't agree with you.
You don't agree?
No, I think when you get really, really shredded, and there's just nothing, like the skin almost looks like sandpaper.
Yeah, no, I do agree. But put it this way: when a white guy who's really, really dry and like that, as soon as they put the tan on, it's gone. You can't really see it. And it's like, I think so when you have slightly darker skin, the shadows aren't as the shadows are not as obvious or as aggressive looking on.
Maybe. I mean, you might have a point. I mean, Evan was like that too.
Evan was always like dry as fuck. And he always used to say, when I put the tan on, it doesn't look like that anymore.
Yeah, I know that because he told me before he doesn't like to put tan on when he guest poses because it makes him look worse.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's just skin complexion. It just gives an illusion because when I see.
Wait a minute, this is all retarded because you're white.
Yeah, but I'm not as pale as these guys.
So you're saying it's the shade of white. You have to be pale. Yeah,
because something racist. Something fucking racist. What are you going to do? Get like a colour chart? You're cream, you're a little pink. You're definitely. You're not allowed to say that, but I am, all right? That's the world we live in.
All right.
But you are right. You actually remember looking at some of your pictures quite recently, and it was like, I remember all of a sudden your lower body just looked so insanely gross in a good way.
All
of a sudden.
My problem is I can't seem to fucking nail it on stage consistently. I have a fucking issue. My mental fucking focus is not the way it should be.
Yeah.
I get the pressure gets to me and I get all fucked up and
Yeah, I've been like that.
but in the gym, I'm fucking cool. Like 2 weeks out, I'm fucking grainy as fuck.
Why do you think it is? Why did your legs go from looking relatively like not overly vascular to just looking just so dry and gnarly? It just kind of it just seemed to happen out of nowhere with you.
Honestly, I think it's just age.
Do you remember?
They always got peeled. I can show you pictures from like
Yeah, but they did. But they didn't have all the veins. Just like even now, they're just covered in veins.
No, yeah, I think it's age.
Yeah, because mine are starting to do that all of a sudden.
Yeah. Watch, man. It's like, I hate to say it, but it's fucking old man muscle.
Yeah, I know. No, that's cool. It looks great. You know, that's why I like muscle maturity.
It looks great to a certain. Once you pass a certain age, it starts to just look like. You know what I'm jealous of? Like when I see, you had this for you don't have it as much now, but like when I see Reagan,
yeah,
in the off season, his face looks like a fucking basketball.
Yeah.
Okay, I used to get that.
Yeah, I used to get that.
Yeah, no matter what I fucking eat now, I can't get that.
Yeah, my face in the last 2 or 3 years hasn't. And my training partner Ben, he stays really lean, but his face blows out. And mine the other way around. I can look like a fat fuck, and my face just stays the same.
Yeah, but this is the thing. When I had basketball face, I hated it, and now I can't get it, and I'm like, fuck. And that means I'm old.
Why do you want basketball face?
Because basketball face comes with basketball body. Like I used to be able to get real puffy.
Yeah, but so I can get really puffy, but it just doesn't go to my face anymore. And like the last set of photos that you posted when you were, I think it was before you look ridiculous. What are you talking about?
No, but I can't get that watery puffy look that fucking Reagan has. He's just like a water bag, but it's like a good water bag. Like it's all like in the muscle.
I think you're probably right. I mean, but Regan is like, he looks like that till about 2 days out. Regan, like, I mean, I remember when he did New York and he just looked really not bad, just really behind. And then all of a sudden he just dropped like 24 pounds and looked insane.
I remember that. It was like 3 weeks out or 4 weeks out. People
how?
People didn't think he was going to be ready.
Yeah, because like Chris was always telling me Jay was like that. You'd see him like 3 days out and you'd be like, he's never in a million years ready. And then you dry him out and he'd be like, bang.
Do you think Regan can be a Mr. Olympia?
Not training the way he does, in my opinion.
I think when I look at the horizon of bodybuilders, I think in that age group, I mean, I could make a case for you, but I could definitely, I don't say this lightly, I could see Reagan being a Mr. Olympia.
Maybe. I mean, I just think if he's the one thing he's missing is muscle maturity, and I think the way he's training is.
But he's only 26.
Yeah.
Like, and that I know for sure because I think his birthday just went by. But I'm not making this case for him because I'm friends with him. I just have yet to see somebody with that type of structure.
Yeah.
And that size in combination.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really thought about it. So, I mean, I suppose you're right, actually. I mean, again, it depends whether he can get that muscle maturity and he can get that thickness because he's big, but he's not thick at all.
I feel like if he puts on like another 10 solid pounds of muscle, like for the stage.
I think it does matter how you put that 10 pounds on.
I agree.
You know, in terms of like the muscle he's got now.
Yeah.
Just looks like dough in compared to somebody who trains really fucking heavy. You know what I mean? It just doesn't look the same.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a matter of training heavy. I think it's a matter of training time.
Possibly. I think training heavy and harder, like really high intensity for less amount of time will give you better than obviously doing just volume for a long time.
I used to think that until I kind of reassessed. I think it's genetic too.
Yeah.
Look at Sean Roden. Sean doesn't train crazy heavy or like.
Yeah, but Sean's also in his 40s.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's time. I think as Reagan gets older.
Yeah, but no, it's true. It's true.
I think as Reagan gets older, that muscle will mature, and he won't have that doughy look anymore.
I think the doughy looks just because, like you said, he's a water bag because he certainly doesn't look like that on stage.
No. Okay. Let's wrap it up for this week. Anything else you want to touch on before we go?
Yeah, I think we should actually kind of include the YouTube people on this and give us some ideas in the comment section.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
We can be open for ideas because, you know, at the end of the day, so they're the guys who are going to watch this. So
do you think this show is just going to be trending topics, or does it have to be? Is it just debatable topics in bodybuilding?
Trending topics. Just news, the bodybuilding, like news of the week, the most controversial.
But that's what I'm asking. But that's what I'm asking. Is it news of the week, or is it like we're talking about Reagan? That's not news of the week, but it's an interesting topic. So is it just debatable topics?
Yeah. So we bring up our topics that happened in the week, and obviously because we love talking so much, hence why we're doing a podcast. It just goes off on tangents that people like. Let's just do that.
All right. So in the comment section below, leave trending topics that you'd like us to talk about, or debatable topics that you think are always being debated in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And me and Luke will go on, and we'll keep you updated on Luke's Luke's mission to find a wife.
Yeah, I mean that'd be really good, wouldn't it? If like in like a few years' time I'm getting married and I'll put it on Skype and everyone can watch it live on YouTube because everyone will feel involved. And there'll be like this I say the word hundreds of girls that have bummed and they're just like crying because they didn't quite make it.
Okay, so you think we're gonna do this long enough that eventually you'll find a wife?
Well, no, I'm more meant that hopefully I'll find one fucking soon. That's what I meant.
Okay, then you have to make us this deal. If you find a wife because of this podcast,
yeah,
you have to marry her on camera.
Well, no, I'll just set up a camera at the actual wedding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's got to be live. It's got to be live.
I wouldn't do the wedding around the fucking camera like that.
All right, Luke. Let's
wrap it up because I need to go and eat as well because I'm starving.
Yeah, man. I was supposed to eat an hour ago. Look at me. I'm shrinking. So
I'm just getting flat.
Let's connect next Monday.
Let's do it.
Bring it again.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
All right, Luke.
See you later, man.
Talk soon.